Yes, gang, it's right. That's right. It's Poppy's other workshop. Hey, gang, Poppy here. You see by my fingers that I'm using my auxiliary work surface in the computer room. So let's get right into it. I'm taking another foray into territory firmly held by Big Clive and AVE. You see, I've taken a thing apart. I'm not going to reverse engineer, tell you how they made it work. I'm just showing you what's inside this piece of crap. Here's the battery. Garbage, not worth saving. Here's some of that ribbon cable, right? Not worth having. Okay. This is the display. Goodbye. Um, this is the little itty bitty speaker. Save that. And here, for want of a better word, is the motherboard. You see, it's got a bunch of epoxy encapsulated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like processors, 8 processors. You know, a bunch of surface mount crap. You know, from the back, there's that. No appreciable value here unless I have 10 tons of it. And that I'd have to be paid to haul it away and have slaves to separate all the parts, not have to buy my chemicals, not have to pay for the electricity, and the glassware donated by a rich patron. Goodbye. Okay, you see this. I wonder, am I... Yeah, I'll zoom out a bit. That might help. Okay, you see that? That's a casing for a Conair hairdryer. In the garbage. Why? Why? I mean, it's only 10 years old. Why? I'll tell you why. Here's the ground fault interrupt plug from the hairdryer. This started doing what AVE calls releasing angry pixies. Okay, a little bit of reverse engineering. This here, it looks like a choke coil, is actually an induction loop. And you see two little leads here go into the board. That's your sensor for line, you know. And there's a little itty bitty right here confuser. Thank you, AVE, for giving me that word. I don't want to call it a computer. There's the solenoid to push to interrupt the circuit. In the garbage. This is the cord. The cord went through here, right? How many tens of thousands of dollars for the mold to mold this piece of plastic? You wonder why things cost so damn much and there's nothing in them. Okay, this is not an impeller because it didn't go round and round. It just sat there and the air went past it. A static impeller? Anyway, garbage. Here's casings for the plug. Okay. Three switches. Usually, when I was younger, I'd save them. They're perfectly good. Nothing wrong with them. Been way too much. There's perfectly good. Nothing wrong with that around here. We're breaking that habit. Right, dear?
have it, dear.
Too good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not an easy habit to break.
No, it isn't.
Especially when you're handy like my husband.
Yeah, I mean...
He don't just see a washer or something. He sees creative things.
What I can turn it into, yes. Okay, there's the heating coil out of that dryer. Nice nichrome wire. Nothing wrong with that. Landfill. Landfill.
Oh, landfill.
Yeah. Okay, now there's the armature. Nice armature. Nice armature. You stay right there. Okay. Here's one of the bronze bushings. Another one right there. And there's the brushes. Now these they're captured. Well, I'm going to pull these brushes out later and save them. The copper and the steel for the field coils, not worth it. That'll go in the garbage. Now, these bushings do fit this armature really nice. You know, and there was a time when this would have been raw materials for a project. Not anymore. Now, the interesting thing, okay, this is, I'm not sure what this is. It says silver, platinum, something. But I don't have a ton of them. Landfill. Miscellaneous crap in the garbage. This was the shield around that heating coil. I can't tell if it's asbestos. I don't think it is, but just in case, and since I'm not saving it anyway, garbage. It didn't look like the asbestos, wrapping for hair dryers I'm used to seeing before the late 70s. Interesting thing here. This is the impeller. Right, nice plastic impeller. The nut which held it on to the armature tightens this collet. And this brass piece here has the same taper, the female taper for this male collet. This right here, this collet is interesting. This is the one interesting thing in this device, was this collet. So I want to save that collet, remove the plastic from it, and save that collet. I don't think I'm going to go to the effort of removing all this armature here. Just measure this and get the right size drill rod. Goodbye. Okay, that's that for today's episode of What's Inside This Piece of Crap? So, good night from California. We're washing into the ocean.
Yeah, good night.
I mean, people in Tennessee and Kentucky, they're getting snow. And out of the woods, a tree fell on the ground plane behind his tractor and all that. Blew the roof off his chicken coop. California's washing into the sea.
great big sinkhole on Skyline Boulevard.
I mean, sinkholes everywhere. You wouldn't think, you don't hear about sinkholes in California. This year you do. Central Valley, flooded. The minor exceptions in the Central Valley that aren't flooded, not worth mentioning. That's flooded.
One horse town gets flooded quite easy in two different spots. They're going to join each other.
They're proselytizing that there's going to be like 4 feet of snow in the Sierra when the next storm comes in. It's cold. It's wet. People are still without electricity. We had a power outage for 6 hours last week. I mean, you know, Wi-Fi went out. I had to talk to my family. You seem like nice people. Anyway, good night from California. I believe my next video I will show you a USB to IDE SATA bridge cable and power supply. You may want to start getting these because that's going to be probably the only way you get stuff off old hard drives.
Well, I guess this year they're not throwing weed outside in that shit.
Good night.